Hey everyone, and welcome back to Life Unscripted with Siobhan, where we're all about keeping it real, no filters, no fluff, just the truth about life and work, careers, and college. Today we're diving into something that's close to my heart because I've lived it myself: career detours. You know those moments where your plans suddenly take a sharp left turn and you're like, wait, what just happened? Yeah, we've all been there. But guess what? Those detours, they're not the dead ends that we think that they are. In fact, they can lead to some pretty amazing things if you know how to use them and take advantage of them. Trust me, I know all about career detours, so let's get into it. Let me take you back to the beginning where it all started. Back when I thought I had it all figured out, I started off majoring in early childhood education in the first 2 years of college during undergrad. Yup, I was going to be a teacher. I love the idea of working with kids. Shaping young minds and making a difference early on sounded so amazing to me. But then something happened. I realized pretty quickly that while I love the kids, the structure of that path didn't feel right for me. It didn't feed my soul. So what did I do? I switched to liberal arts. Now, if you've ever been in liberal arts, you know it's kind of like you're still figuring everything out because you're basically taking all the core requirements that are required for you to go into another major or potentially continue in liberal arts, depending on what your goal is ultimately. That's exactly what I was doing. I was knocking out core requirements, trying to figure things out, and gain experience in different areas. For example, I took general psychology and noticed that I really enjoyed it, really had a knack for it. So I was like, oh, well, let me try clinical psychology. Let me try abnormal psychology. And slowly but surely, it continued to develop as it did. And that's when I noticed, oh, I actually like the whole psychology, psychotherapy component. But honestly, I still didn't have it figured out at that time. Even when I was preparing for graduation at the time, because it was a 2 year degree, I was still trying to learn. And I'm so glad I did because it gave me the space to figure out where I really wanted to be. That's not to include all the bumps in the road along the way. This is kind of like an express course right now in the sense of I'm basically giving you a quick summary. But even then, it wasn't all smooth sailing. I had to take detours. I had to work through some setbacks and reevaluate what I really wanted. Fast forward to today, and I'm a clinical rehabilitation counselor. Something I could have never imagined back then when I first started college. I help people in a very different way now, and I found my true calling in connecting with others. Something that my mentor once told me was my real gift. She said, Siobhan, your power is in how you connect with people. At first, I really didn't understand what she meant. But looking back at it, she was absolutely right. Here's the thing about detours: they're not failures, they're not signs that you're lost or doing something wrong. They're just reroutes. Think of it like your GPS recalculating. Sure, the road you were once on is now blocked, but that doesn't mean you won't get to where you're going. It just means you're going to take a different route. One that might show you something that you never expected. When I switched from early childhood education to liberal arts, I thought, am I giving up on this? Am I really giving up on this? But what I didn't realize was that I was pivoting to something that allowed me to gain more perspective, more experience, and it wasn't a setback. It was a sidestep to let me see the bigger picture. So if you're in the middle of a detour right now in your life, or you're feeling like you're off course, let me tell you this: you're exactly where you need to be. So don't panic. Lean into it. Detours often show you what we're really capable of, or what you're really capable of. And sometimes they lead us to a place we never even knew we were meant to go. I want to talk to you about something my mentor once told me that really stuck with me and ultimately helped me embrace all the twists and turns in my career. She said, Siobhan, your gift isn't in what you do, it's in how you do it, it's in the way you connect with people. That hit me so hard because for the longest time, I thought my value was actually just came from my job, from what I was studying, or from what I was supposed to become. But she made me realize that my true power, my gift, was my ability to connect with people, to relate, and to really see people. And once I embraced that, I started to see that every detour I took was just sharpening that gift. You see, the roles that I've had along the way don't define me. They never did. They just helped me refine what was already inside of me. The switch to liberal arts, it taught me flexibility. The path to clinical rehabilitation counseling, it taught me how to use empathy as a tool to help others. And all of those experiences together brought me to where I am right now, speaking to you right now on social media. It's helped me help people from all walks of life, not just kids, not just students, but anyone who needs the guidance. It's actually something that not only brings me joy, but it feels like it's along the path of what I'm supposed to be doing in life. So if you're struggling with a detour right now, ask yourself, what's my true gift? What's that one thing that you always wanted to bring to the table, no matter what job you're in right now? When you find that, you'll see that your detours aren't leading you off of your path. They're leading you closer towards it. And every component was meant to happen while you were on that path because it brought you one step closer to where you were supposed to go, even if it doesn't feel like it. So, how do you actually use your detours to actually use it for your advantage, I would say? It's simple, but not always easy. You've got to stay open, stay curious, and stay patient. First, stay open, okay? Don't close yourself off to opportunities just because they don't look like how you think it's supposed to or how you planned it out to be. Some of the best opportunities come disguised as something you never expected. When I switched majors, I didn't even know where it was going to lead me. And we'll get into that in future videos because, plot twist, somewhere along that way, I was actually in a different major for graduate school, but we'll get into that later. But regardless, I stayed open to whatever came next at that time. Next, I want you to stay curious. Ask questions, try new things. Your detour might show you your strengths you didn't even know that you had. When I was in liberal arts, I didn't think I would end up in counseling, but I stayed curious about what I was actually doing, and I actually enjoyed it along the way. Naturally, I wasn't like a math major. That wasn't my thing, so that was definitely not my strong point. But regardless, I was able to find something to like in every component, I would say. Even if that one thing that I enjoyed was the people that were in the class that sat next to me, who I can talk to and talk about how I was stressed out because the class was like too much and everything. Sometimes we have to collect the wins when we can get a win, wherever that comes in. Just keep going is what I want to say. So I stayed curious about what I enjoyed, working with people, solving problems, finding creative solutions. Those were the clues that eventually led me to where I am today. And finally, stay patient. Detours take time. You might feel like you're stuck in a loop, but I promise you, Everything you're going through right now is building you for something more, for that next thing. As long as you continue to stay the path, continue to just strive, continue to just try. Sometimes all you have is just waking up and being thankful for the day, or just getting through the day so you can start the next day tomorrow. It's all connected, even if you can't see it yet, okay? So here's the takeaway. Your career is not a straight line, and honestly, it's not supposed to be. Life is full of twists and turns, like I just told you before. Started out as early childhood. I went into liberal arts. From liberal arts, I eventually ended in clinical rehabilitation counseling, right? But there's a middle there. I could go on and on about everything that happened. But I just want you to know that you too have a path that you can take. And although life is full of twists and turns and unexpected reroutes, those detours, they're not mistakes. They're not failures. They're the experiences that shape you into the person you're meant to be. Every job, every switch, every setback is giving you something. It's up to you to use it, to see the value in it, and to let it push you forward. Remember your gift. Your true power has always been inside you. The detours just help you discover it. So next time life throws you off course, don't fight it. Lean into it. And trust that it's leading you exactly where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to go. Thanks for tuning into Life Unscripted with Siobhan, where we're always figuring it out, or at least trying to, one detour at a time. Stay open, stay curious, and most of all, stay patient. You've got this.